Hey everyone, Grantfly here. Welcome back. We'll be running through another pre-modern league, this time with a deck that I'm calling Battlemage Survival. The impetus behind building this deck was to try and play a deck that played a bunch of the Battle Mages. The Battle Mages are a cycle in pre-modern. There's one in each color, and they all work the same way. They're a base 2/2 for 3, and then they have 2 kickers, one for each allied color, that have various mana costs and do various things. And I would say the best ones are the red and green battle mages, so that's sort of what I was trying to build around. The green one is a 2/2 red kicker for single red, deal 2 damage to any target. White kicker, single white, destroy target artifact. And the red one in black, target player discards 2 cards, kicker, and single green to destroy target enchantment. So the main thinking behind it is that artifacts and enchantments are very good in pre-modern. So what if we could main deck a bunch of cards that are just regular creatures that also incidentally kill artifacts and enchantments, and if they don't happen to have any good artifacts or enchantments, at least we can deal 2 to any target or make them discard 2 cards. Everybody's got creatures or can be targeted with damage, and usually they have some cards in their hands. So that was the idea. And then the next question was how to best build a deck around these cards that could, be the best deck possible to play a bunch of battle mages in. So the first thing I tried was to kind of shoehorn them into an Elves deck, because Thornscape Battlemage is an elf, and Elves decks sometimes play this card anyway. And it works well with Wirewood Symbiote, because you can return it and play it again. The thing I found when trying to do that is that you have to cut some cards to make room for these battle mages, and it kind of ended up being some of the creatures. And basically the deck does not function that well if you cut some of the early mana creatures in favor of these battle mages. It just isn't as good. So I kind of abandoned the Elves build. Then I tried a regular Jund build without survival, and eventually just had to conclude that it is a mistake to not put survival of the fittest in your mid-range Jund deck, probably, especially if you are also committed to playing a bunch of these creatures. It just makes too much sense to play survival with them. So the last version was a version with survival, which is the one you see right here. So for survivals, 3 of each battle mage, because they are basically a 4 mana card, or they're each 4 mana essentially if you want them to do anything anyway. I do have the 4th copy of each in the sideboard to try and execute on the theme. And then a bunch of silver bullet creatures, as you would usually see in a survival deck. 4 Wall of Roots, because we, again, these cost a lot of mana, so you really do want to have a bunch of mana in your deck. What else is unusual here? A 2/2 split between Duress and Cabal Therapy, because Therapy is not as good in this deck because you're not really trying to sacrifice any of your creatures, unlike if you had Academy Rector or a Veteran Explorer or something. So I think a 2/2 split is a little bit more sensible. What else? Goblin Sharpshooter, a single Goblin Bombardment, because we are playing 29 creatures, and it makes the battle mages a little bit more functional after you play them. If you have a Goblin Bombardment, you can get like one last use out of them as a 2/2 or whatever. Also good with Deranged Hermit, and just the fact that we're playing so many creatures. Playing a single Mogg Fanatic, I was thinking about having this be a Lightning Bolt, since we do have red. Lightning Bolt's a pretty good card, but I decided to go with Mogg Fanatic because it is a creature for survival, and it can kill a decent number of the things that you would want to kill with Lightning Bolts, although not every single thing. But maybe you could team up with that and a Thornscape Battlemage or something, or a Goblin Sharpshooter, which I'm also playing because we are playing red, and it's a pretty good red card. So, the other 1/0s, Mesmeric Fiend, Withered Wretch, Baloth, Deranged Hermit, Genesis, Anger. Those are all pretty standard in a survival deck. And then the mana base is trying not to make it too painful. So I do have the 4 Llanowar Wastes, but then a bunch of fetch lands to hopefully fetch up lands that will not then hurt you every time you use them for colored mana. Only 2 City of Brass, an Undiscovered Paradise, and a Darigaaz's Caldera. The mana in allied tri-colors, ones without double enemy colors, I guess. So Jund and Naya and ones like that. Bant. Those are a lot better than the mana in enemy wedges like white, black, green, or blue, black, green, or ones like that. Those have worse mana. So that is one advantage of getting to play Jund, is that your mana is a bit better. So that was another motivation, in addition to the fact that I wanted to play the red and green ones anyway. So yeah, that's the idea behind the deck. A fair Battlemage deck, trying to make it as good as you can while playing Battlemages. So I don't know if that will pan out or not, but I think it's interesting to try. Just to go over the sideboard real quick, a couple of additional anti-graveyard cards, a Druid Lyrist, additional enchantment destruction that's cheaper, couple Pyroblasts against blue decks, a couple of additional discard spells against control and combo decks, additional Lightning Bolt against goblins or Sly or any aggressive deck, Orcish Settlers against like a slower control deck. I think this could be a good card to have access to, especially since we have a bunch of mana. An additional Naturalize. Don't have to explain why Naturalize is good, but I don't have a ton because we do already have a bunch of Battle Mages. So I'm just rolling with the 1, and there's a Lyrist too. So we'll see if that is good or if maybe we wish we had more. Additional Goblin Sharpshooter against goblins and elves and that kind of thing. An additional copy of each Battle Mage. I don't know if it's actually good to play 4 of each copy, or of each of these between main deck and sideboard, but I figured we would push it as far as we could in this build and see how it goes, and then at the end we can figure it out. Additional Spike Feeder against Burn, essentially, and an additional Massacre against Goblins, Elves, or any kind of anti-creature deck. Notably, I'm not playing Engineered Plague because we have 1 goblin, 2 goblins, I guess, but 1 where we would want that against the decks where we would bring in Plague. But then if one of the decks is goblins, then we're killing our own creature with it. So I don't think we want to play it for that reason. And then against elves, we have a couple of elves, Thornscape's an elf, Deranged Hermit's an elf. So I'm going to try rolling without Engineered Plague, even though I do like it because it has some negative interactions with our own cards. And we'll see if we can get away with it without. I think we might be able to, because we do have Bombardment, Thornscape Battlemage, the additional Sharpshooter, the additional Bolt, the Fanatic. So we have a decent number of ways to deal with creatures, including a couple that are repeatable and the Massacre. So I think that will be okay, but we'll see. So this is the deck trying to make Battle Mages great in the first place in Premodern, and we will see how that ends up going. If you are enjoying the videos, please like and subscribe, and there will be more in the future. And check out the blog as well if you want to see some written content. All right, we'll be back for round 1. All right, starting here in round 1. Got a no land hand, so that's an easy mulligan. This hand is not great, but is it better than going to 5? Not better. Yeah, actually, I'm going to keep it. Obviously, we're going to have to draw some good cards anyway, so I think this is fine. Could be wrong. Fairy Conclave. Okay, that could be helpful. I'm tempted to fire this off since we don't really have a better play. Fire off the therapy, that is. But let's just get this Fanatic down and then we'll see kind of we'll have a better idea what's going on. Seal of Cleansing. Okay, so that could be replenished, although they don't usually play Fairy Conclave. Either way, I guess they're probably playing Parallax Tide, most likely, so I guess that would be a good reason to name Tide here. However, it's also a good time to get down this wall of roots, so I'm going to do that. And then I'll try and name it next turn. It's possible I could withstand a Tide eating 3 lands here if I get a Baloth down, but I guess it's probably not a great idea. Okay, they did have a Tide. They also have a Factor Fiction and a Mana Leak. A Chain of Vapor. I think I'm pretty interested in getting rid of this Factor Fiction before they can play it. This Thornscape is not exactly great here. I think I'll just play it, and then if they want to counter it, they can. Oh, I can't do it that way. I have to. Because they do have Mana Leak. Okay, what am I sacrificing? I guess I'll sacrifice this Mogg Fanatic. It's probably done its job. Okay. And now I will go ahead and give them the opportunity to counter Thornscape Battlemage as a Grey Ogre if they want, because this Mana Leak is going to get something. Okay, I guess in theory, if I draw land next turn, I could resolve this through Mana Leak. Not super likely. Maybe I should have just jammed it. Factory. Okay, it's annoying. Are they attacking me? I guess they are. Okay. Fair enough. We did draw the land, so we can theoretically play around Mana Leak. hold this creature for survival if I draw it. Okay, I think I will fetch just to thin the deck out, even though I don't generally like doing that, but I think here it's warranted. Forest, draw. We did a survival. Okay, so we get one activation. Gotta make it count. Not that, play this. So I think we were supposed to go get Genesis. All right, they're gonna make us pay some mana. That's okay. Well, I guess now we might as well wait because we can't really play anything we get anyway. So I'll go ahead and wait, I suppose. They kind of want to kill it, but if they wait until I untap, then I could draw into a second creature and get multiple activations. So I think it is better for them to just do this. I guess I should have paid with Wall of Roots. I would have got one more activation. Slight misplay there. Okay, so I think I'm getting Genesis. Pitching that and getting, let's see, if I pay 3 and get back a Ravenous Baloth or something. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get Genesis and discard that. And then what? Maybe I just get a Birds to protect against whatchamacallit. To protect against Tide. Humility. Okay. Yeah, that's not great. I'm not expecting humility. Okay, I guess we just try and overload them with 1/1s. I still do get this ability. I guess I'll just go ahead and return a Mogg Fanatic because it's cheap. Okay, we drew a way to kill that. That's good. I guess we'll just throw down these creatures and get in. Okay, I do have the mana, so I'll go ahead and get back a, guess I'll get back a wall. Oh no, I don't have the mana because my birds don't make mana. All right, we'll not get back a wall. We're just gonna try and kill this humility. Ooh, drew survival. I think this is more of a priority. Oh, this does not work. Okay, my mistake. All right, we'll just pass the turn then. I thought it was like upon cast, but I guess not. Yeah, because it's when it comes into when it enters the battlefield. Okay, my mistake. Yeah, not ideal. Could have just tried to get in there. Maybe that was the play. I guess I'm waiting one more turn to do this. Okay, well, that's not good. I guess I won't do this because I want to try and resolve survival now. Although I have no creatures, so yeah, I should have done it. I guess I play around Mana Leak this way. Okay, pretty good sequence of draws. Standstill and some lands. So I'll do it like that. I don't think this is going to work. I don't think I have any way to kill this humility. We'll take one more draw. I think this might be it. I guess maybe if we draw exactly Goblin Bombardment and they don't have anything, we might be able to make this work. Apparently these creatures do have haste, I guess because this anger went to the graveyard after humility was played. All right, that's not going to do it. Pack it up. Definitely want the naturalize. I guess we want the Orcish Settlers. Pyroblast. Discard is pretty good here. Seeing the weakness of Battlemage, since it doesn't really effectively answer Tide or Humility or Mishra's Factory, really. So we could probably trim on those, even though in theory they're good. Bone Shredder, not too likely to do anything. Fanatic's not horrible. It's also not too great. I guess we can get rid of Fanatic. Wretch, I don't think is doing anything. Want all the mana creatures. Sharpshooter's kind of questionable. Maybe Massacre is better. I don't think Massacre is that good either. Go down to one Battlemage. This does put us pretty low on creatures, actually, which I don't love. All right, I guess Wall is not really... It's good with Therapy, though, but I think we need a little bit more threat density. So maybe we can trim on the walls and add Massacre back in. Or add Thunderscape. I mean, Thunderscape is still kind of good. I'll try that. Okay. Kind of relying on this wall, so I'm going to name Swords. Did hit, okay. I'm going to try and resolve this while I can. They could draw a disenchant for it, which would be pretty bad, but it's either that or counterspell. Can only play around one of them. All right, they're chaining it. I mean, that seems okay for me. So where's my wall? All right. My wall has been swordsed. What's the plan here? Maybe fiend them? Yeah, that seems okay. Morph. Okay. I've taken out my bone shredder, which was maybe a mistake. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, but I do have my Thornscape Battlemages, which is definitely what I need. Okay, so we can squeeze in an anger here, I guess. I'm gonna try and insulate myself against a tide a little bit here. One, two, three, four, five, six. 10, 11, 12. I really don't want my Fiend to die, so, and they can play this to, they can activate this to not die anyway, so. If they have like Decree or something, I don't want to send my Fiend into that, and they do. And actually, I guess I should have attacked anyway, because I am in a flashback therapy here and get rid of this crypt. So that if they do Wrath, it's not, they can't get my Squee with it. Slight misplay there, but okay. Should still work out. All right. So the discard was good. They do have Exalted Angel, but I think the Thornscapes should be enough. I don't really want to put Bone Shredder in the deck very much. I mean, a Lightning Bolt wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I am low on creatures already. So, probably just run it back. It's possible Thornscape is actually better than Thunderscape. Because it doesn't answer Humility, and I can't realistically play this if they tied me. It's just way too much mana most of the time. So yeah, maybe I'll make that swap. I could take out this last wall. I guess it's not really, but I need creatures anyway. I could just play another Thornscape. I do want to be aggressive. I guess Lyrist is a nice one to have sitting around if they, to like make Tide more awkward for them. I'm going to take out an elf. Oh, that is also good against Tide. I could just take out the wall. This is probably mostly fine. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I can mulligan this. It's pretty bad if they kill my birds, or it's pretty slow, but it does some stuff. I'm going to lead with the elves because I'd rather they kill that. Stand still with my elves. My elves in play. Still probably better to just break it. Oh, I don't really have anything good to do this turn. I guess I could just play a 2/2. Seems kind of bad. I think I am supposed to just crack it right now. I don't know. Yeah, I think I am. Well, at least I can do something next turn. Probably will just get countered, but yuck. All right, there's humility. We are now down to 1/1s or naturalize. More lands. I guess I'm saving these in case they wrath or I am able to remove this humility somehow, but it's not looking great. The fact that, yeah, we can't use Thornscape against Mishra's Factory is just pretty devastating with this humility out. Okay. I guess I'll just keep playing lands. If they ever hit a tide or factor, I mean, the game is basically already over. We've just had too many draws, drawing nothing to interact, but I need like discard into naturalize or something. Yeah, sure. For those unaware, the factories will be a 2/2 under humility, so I couldn't have been getting in, and now they have a bunch of soldiers, so it's obviously not going to work. Sure, I guess we'll take a bunch. All right, we're gonna call it there. There's no way for us to win. We'll be back with round 2. Okay, we're back for round 2, and this hand seems good, so we'll keep that. Lead off with 8 birds. I suppose there's an argument there for playing Duress first, but because then I could go birds plus therapy. But yeah, if they don't kill my birds, I can still do both, which they didn't, so. Okay, it is Dreadnaught. They have Stifle. Opt Gush. Take this Stifle so I don't get my Mire stifled, and then I'm going to play, I think I'm going to play Wall. I suppose this does give them a window to land a Dreadnaught next turn, so perhaps that's not a good idea. I'll just get both Dreadnaughts right now, or try to anyway. Take my 2-for-1 while I can. Oh, they did find the other piece, so yeah, that's good that I did that. Wanted to be greedy, but not a great idea. Oops, they have a Stifle. I accidentally closed that one. Good draw. I'm going to go after their Gush here if they let me. If not, then I guess I'll hit Stifle. Okay, they did Gush in response. I'll name this because I know they have it. Foil and a bunch of islands. Deal. Okay, the Baloth eats 3 cards and we'll pass the turn. I do have the birds for Thornscape to kill an artifact if I ever draw it, but that is not happening. I'm going to save this for kicking it next turn. I guess, I mean, Sharpshooter really doesn't do anything in this matchup. I guess I'll play this Withered Wretch. It's not exactly the scariest card, but it is a 2/2. I'll exile a card with Wretch, but I'm not going to use a wall counter since my mana is so limited at the moment. They did not shuffle. Okay, land is good. I think we're just going to go ahead and try kicking this Battlemage and see what happens. I guess first I'll offer this trade with Withered Wretch, which I don't think they will take. All right, we did the thing. Oh, Flash of Insight. Okay, that's not ideal as a card to make them discard. All right, so we actually ended up kind of helping our opponent with that. Would have taken them longer. I mean, I can't really prevent it with Wretch anyway if I ever use this to make them discard. All right, so if they make a 12/12 right now, that'll be bad. Okay, they didn't do that. But it kind of does seem like that Thunderscape was maybe a net negative. I mean, we did deprive them of a card at the end of the day, but... okay, we can't attack freely anymore. I guess I will try... What will I try and do? I guess I'll try and resolve Survival. Okay, we did not resolve Survival. I don't really think it's worth playing Sharpshooter. Might be wrong, but also because it takes a counter off my wall. You know, yeah, maybe that's wrong because I suppose the Sharpshooter can finish off Factory if they block with it, which is pretty relevant. So I probably should have played it. My mistake. All right, we can at least attack with Genesis here. Mm-hmm. Guess I can hold the land for one turn. I'm going to hold the wall for Survival if we draw it. They're just not finding Dreadnaught or the last piece to go with it. Get rid of that chain. And now we're flooding out a bit. Okay, we'll try getting in with all these. We can also get an extra activation out of the Wall of Roots. We have to. Okay. Sure. Try and finish off the factory. Let's try and finish off the factory. I think that's worth it. Okay, hitting those 2 early Dreadnaughts paid off. Okay, so what do we want? Pyroblast. The Thunderscape wasn't exactly a net positive there. Thornscape will be nice though if we can get our white mana. So probably want the last one of those. Do you want the naturalize? Do you want the extra discard? We could probably trim on Thunderscape. Maybe just one. This doesn't kill artifacts, so it's not very useful. Sharpshooter, not generally too useful here, nor is Mogg Fanatic. Down to 25 creatures. Probably don't want to go too much lower, even though Baloth's fine, I guess, actually. Settlers, no, Settlers is not good. They're a gush deck. I don't think that's going to do much. Furnace for Flash of Insight is probably not worth. I mean, I suppose Bombardment is not doing a ton here. Probably get rid of that. This looks reasonable. Okay, this hand has 1 mountain in it, not really keepable. Yeah, I guess we're keeping this one. What are we putting back here? In theory, we have a bunch of mana. I feel like Genesis is probably going to be too slow for however this game goes. On the other hand, the Baloth doesn't really do all that much here, so maybe I'm supposed to just put that back. The Baloth is more or less just a vanilla 4/4 in this matchup, I think. There's some corner case where I guess the 4 life could be relevant, but probably not. Okay, I think it's worth getting the forest here while I can. That's annoying, but fortunately I have other mana creatures I can play. Lead with the birds because I don't want that one getting countered, and I will still try to play the elf. If they want to daze it, it happens. Okay. All right, we're just going to try and slam this Genesis. If you want to counter it, we can get it back at a very in a very slow manner, but still counts. Okay, they used one counterspell. I'm going to try and resolve survival here. I think doing nothing this turn is worse than attempting to do that. Alright, they had another counterspell. So be it. Tide. Okay, they're getting us with the tide. Yeah, you've got all my lands. All right, now that I know they're doing the tide thing, I guess I should get back birds with Genesis. Okay. Okay, we do have a turn to try and hit this stifle that they might have, so let's just see if that's what they have. They also might have chain, I guess. They do have chain. Okay. Oh, they're just going to stifle now. Sure. Okay, I've been stifled. Guess I'll name this so they don't get my last swamp, or my last land rather. Chain Impulse. Okay. Yeah, that's all I got, I guess. I don't really want to sacrifice either of my creatures here, but I may need to. A null chain of vapor days. Oh, the way it's looking right now, this days is kind of a hard counter, so I think I'm just going to take the days. And get in for one. Just keep in mind that they have an annul. There's a land, that's good. And they have so many cards they can look for. Do I have to try and hit this chain so I don't get tided? But then I have nothing, nothing for the, yeah, I think I still have to play this right now. Because otherwise I'll probably get tided again. And I don't want to sacrifice either of my mana creatures because that's kind of defeating the point, so I have to just do this, I think. I think I need my lands. Of course, now they'll just find a gush probably. But yeah, I don't know. It's not a great spot in general. All right, well, there it is. So this is what we're doing. Trying to attack with a 4/4. Really digging. It will be a miracle if they don't find the combo at this point. Oh, that's a pretty good draw. The beatdown commences. It's also a good card to have access to. I am gonna hold it just because it still doesn't really get in through this factory, and I wouldn't be able to kick it and have Pyroblast up. So I'm just gonna hang on to it. I'll let them have that. If they go for a Dreadnaught, I'll obviously try to interact, and then if they counter that, hopefully my Thornscape can kill it after they play a counter spell or something. All right, I am going to try and counter that. So their hand is a null and 4 unknown cards. Blasted that. Okay, they got rid of my Vision Charm. So I guess they're going to try and chump with Factory on my Genesis. This ended up being kind of a close one. Duress. All right, that's a pretty insanely good draw. I think we are supposed to just fire that off right now. It will mean we can't get in with the elves, but I think that's worth it. We got foil, counterspell, and a null. Okay, let me think about this. So they could foil right now. They cannot counterspell, but they can counterspell next turn. So if they chump, okay. So basically, I just need to make sure I resolve this Thornscape right now because it represents an extra attacker. So I need to take foil. And then I need to get in with Genesis. I guess I get in with Genesis. And then if they chump, I just have to play Thornscape and deal them too. Because if I wait to play it, then they can counter it with Counterspell. So I need to do it right now. If I attack with elves and they block that, they go to 3, but then I can't kick Thornscape, so I don't think that's the play. All right, so they're chumping, that's fine. And then now I guess I have the decision of, am I just doing this while I can? If I wait till next turn, they can just counter it, which doesn't seem great for me. So yeah, I think I have to do this right now with the red kicker and just deal them 2 damage. Now they can't really attack, but I also kind of can't. No, I could still attack. I can attack, and if they block Genesis, then they go to 2, attack me back, then I kill them on the next attack. So yeah, I think it's good for me to try and attack and get this game over with. Yeah, we're going to try it. Because they have Counterspell and a null, I don't think it's good to just keep staring at each other. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and play this because I might need the mana. I guess if they find another Dreadnaught, I'm screwed, but I would kind of be screwed either way if they did that. All right, they're digging. Actually, they could even, they just need a Dreadnaught because they get attack and then sack this Dreadnought to the other Dreadnought to give it Vigilance. Which would be bad for me, but it seems like they didn't get that. Okay. So now what am I returning? I guess I'm returning another Thornscape Battlemage because it just kills them. All right, there's not really a point putting them to 1, so I'm just going to play a Wall of Roots. If they want to counter that, they can. Don't think there's a really good reason to. Or, actually, maybe I should have just played this as a 2/2. That might have been a little bit of a mistake. Yeah, I definitely should have done that, actually. Would have forced them to use their counterspell. I guess this way I have 1 more turn to draw a discard spell, but... Okay, so let's see. Can I return another creature? Parallax Tide. Oh boy, okay. Great. Yeah, that was a big mistake. I should have just played this. I'm not getting the birds. I think that's not right. Okay, well, I know they have a counterspell. I guess I'll just try and play Withered Wretch, make them use it on that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense to do this. What do they have left? They've used up how many counterspells? 3 out of 4. Foil. Only 1 foil. Okay, at least we think they have foil. They had 2 foils. All right, so I will just play this, I guess, like I should have done a long time ago, and then unless they draw another Chain of Vapor, exactly, they will be dead. I mean, that's probably dumb. I should just wait. I don't think they have any like counters left in their deck, so I should just guarantee that I can play Thornscape next turn. Even though it was wrong to not do it before, I think it is still wrong to not do it now also, if that makes sense. It's like, that way Chain or another Dreadnaught, no, another Dreadnaught doesn't do it. I don't know. Gosh. Yeah, okay, so now, right, factory, now they would have enough blocks if I didn't do that. Okay, so now I'm just going to try and play this with kicker and see if that works. Certainly take 12, no point not doing that. Okay, let's think about this. So they're down 2 foils. 3 foils gone, 3 counterspells gone. They might have like I think Stifle is the most likely card they could have. So that's what we're gonna do here. They did. Ooh, that was a close one. Two damage. Okay, we've won a match with Battlemages. It was kind of excruciating, but somehow worked. We'll be back for round 3. All right, a 1-lander. Love that. Yeah, we can mulligan this. Doesn't have a survival either. Jeez. This hand is pretty horrendous. Yeah, it's bad. I think I'm going to 5. No lands. Okay. Guess we're going to 4. Sure. Not ideal. Put back a Cradle. Put back this, and I guess put back Swamp. Keep our 2 things that do something. Maybe I can win if it happens to be a matchup where Sharpshooter is good. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. See, this is why I do not like mulliganing. Sometimes this happens. Okay. I don't know what to get. I guess we'll get a mountain. Like if the first hand had 2 lands, I would have kept it, even though it wasn't amazing. But the second hand, I mean, I guess maybe that's supposed to be keep. I don't know. Sphere. Oh, we are not winning this game. This Thornscape actually would be great if we had more lands. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess we'll try this. Terravore, yeah, that's a problem. Definitely a problem. Okay, we can pitch the old Sharpshooter. I don't think that's going to be very good. Go ahead and get a... I think we probably need to get Squee. Or do we just get a birds because we need it really bad? I mean, I guess we have plenty of creatures that we can realistically never play, so maybe I just get birds here. Try and climb out of this. this hole. We do not have a lot of time. Okay. Yeah, that's not great, but we don't really have the luxury of worrying about that. Just need to get a Bone Shredder immediately and kill the Terravore. I almost put a Veteran Explorer in this deck. I wish I had at this present moment. So yeah, we need to just get Bone Shredder and hope we draw an actual land right now. And even then, I think it's not looking great, but we did draw land. All right, that's not good, but could be worse. Oh, if this is naturalized. Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. Okay. I'm not going to spend my turn paying for that. Yeah, I have to just play a wall, I think, and try and draw some more lands. I'm just going to die to this port. I need to draw my Darigaaz's Caldera. I do not have a main deck way to deal with Rishat Import. Yeah, we can pack this one in. I think that'll do it. Okay, try not to mold to 4 this game. What's good here? Naturalize. I mean, the Thornscape and Thunderscape both are good in theory. Sharpshooter, not good. Duress is probably nice. Don't love, I mean, Bolt's not amazing, but it is cheap. I guess Druid Lyrist is pretty good. Baloth might be expensive. Maybe we want to replace that with Spike Feeder. Mogg Fanatic. Doesn't really kill a lot of things, so we could probably get rid of that. I don't hate Furnace, actually. Deranged Hermit is a lot of mana, but I do think we needed some way to finish the game. But maybe it's just too much. It's asking too much. Bombardment is not, I guess it's not particularly good here. I am a little bit concerned about being able to finish the game this way. Maybe we just need a Hermit. And we could take out Spike Feeder. I mean, I guess the goal is we're gonna overpower their land destruction. So we could get Anger. I guess this is not really, haste is not that relevant in this matchup. Maybe we do want this Baloth. Okay, this seems somewhat reasonable. We drew our City Brass again, but we do have 2 Wallverts, so I am going to keep. It's kind of our best card in this matchup. I'm also tired of mulliganing. Need them to not land a turn 1 Oath or Sphere. All right, I'm going to hold off on playing the City of Brass for a while, if I can. There's an Oath. I think getting this wall down is more important than duressing right now. Five. Could play Deranged Hermit. Don't think it's doing a ton though, so I guess we will just dig with Wall Blossoms. That takes care of that for the time being, but I'm not sure what the long-term plan is here. $19.19. We have 8 cards left. Am I trying to mill myself into something? Struggling to think of anything that could really save me here. So I need all my mana. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can do at this point. City of Brass. I can deal 2 damage. Is that good? Play a Deranged Hermit. Yeah. No. All right. Oath is a weakness. Turn to Oath. So now we know. All right, round 4. I will say so far I'm wishing I had more naturalizes in my sideboard. Having lost to Oath and Humility. Okay, I guess we're taking ourselves off red Duress. Do what you gotta do. Oh my gosh, this again. That's not gonna be good. I guess I just take one of these standstills. Get the humility later, hopefully. I think we just roll out this Thornscape as a threat and see if they want to use a counterspell on that. They are. Okay, I mean, I don't hate that. Whoops, accidentally removed the humility. Okay, they have a standstill. That's fine. I think we just are supposed to wait. I mean, we have nothing to follow it up with, so I'm just going to wait here. The way this is playing out, I definitely wish I had taken Humility instead of one of these standstills. All right, is it time to break this standstill? Still no, I don't think. I really don't have anything good to play into it, so I think I'm supposed to keep waiting. Kind of getting stuck with a bunch of these battle mages. But that's all right. We are learning that 3 of each is too many. I do think a Jund build, it wouldn't be bad to play like 1 of each, but yeah, 3 is seeming like a lot so far. Okay, that's a good one to kick it off with. So let's give it a shot. All right, that's not like the most amazing hand I've ever seen. I think we just get 2 of these cards and see what happens after that. Seems like they're probably playing Tide, so if they draw that, I'm in deep trouble. But what are you going to do? Trying to decide if I should play this Goblin Bombardment or not. I think I probably do, because then that's one less disenchant for my survival if I draw it. Hit the Stifle since I know they have it. Decree of Justice. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 tokens. All right. Only we could have done that at instant speed. That would have been a lot better, but we could not. Guess I could trade Thornscape for 1 factory. Seems pretty bad, but do what you got to do. I think I don't have any outs here. So my Baloth's gone, my flyers are gone. I could draw... No, I could draw a survival and survival into Squee into another birds to block for one more turn. So I'll hold the birds. Sure. All right, that'll do the trick. I'd say that'll do the trick. What do we do here? I think Settlers is good. Sharpshooter probably not great. Thornscape didn't seem particularly good. Pyroblast, yes. More discard, yes. Lyrist. I guess you can play it and negate a standstill for a while. That's something at least. I definitely want all of these. The walls are not amazing. They're mostly non-creatures, so we can cut down on therapy. We might need Bone Shredder in case they do board into Angel. So we can cut down on some mana creatures. They probably have Tide, but I don't know, my other Pyroblast, I do want that. Fanatic as a way to deal with Conclave doesn't seem horrible, but by that logic, I guess maybe Sharpshooter is better. guess we could have both. Thornscape's just not really a good answer to... I mean, it is a good answer to an Exalted Angel. This card also probably isn't doing a ton. The generic discard 2 is not bad on it. Baloth. I feel like maybe I need Baloth just as like a way to try and end the game. You know what? We call this deck Jund Battlemages. This is what we're trying to do here. Let's just focus on it. In an ideal scenario, we won't just be getting cranked upon by manlands. Yep. Seems reasonable. I don't really want to get stifled, so I think I am just going to go get a forest right now. All right, let's play this Mesmeric Fiend and see what we can see here. Humility, Swords, Impulse. Okay. I guess we just take Mana Leak so we can resolve Survival next turn. It's kind of our best bet here. We're going to need to draw some lands as well. All right, that's a land. Countering my wall. Interesting. Okay. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. That's annoying. Okay, they don't get haste, I guess, because of the order of this. So, yeah, I guess I should have waited to discard anger. Awkward. Seal of Cleansing, sure. Yeah, this one's pretty much over. All right, they have a Decree of Justice and 2 factories. Yeah, I guess we'll keep playing, but it's basically over. If we can, I guess, somehow draw Naturalize and deal with the Humility, but doesn't seem super likely. All right, we can concede to that. Losing to Humility a lot today. Back for round 5. Not a great hand. Yeah, this is probably too bad to keep. Let's mulligan. Okay, this is reasonable. Let's put back, I guess, one of the walls. Just gonna go ahead and I don't really want to blind therapy. I'll just play Wooded Foothills and pass the turn. See what we got here. Okay, so they're going to throw out a... I guess if we hit this symbiote, we can kind of limit their mana production. They're going to still play one of the priests, but we can at least... do that. Or maybe we should just ignore that and focus on taking the Vigilante and trying to win with survival. They're going to have just an absolute insane amount of mana no matter what. So I think it makes sense to just take the Vigilante. And like, if we're able to therapy next turn, great, but we may have to just play survival and focus on that. Get a Granger. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good, but I think we still just play survival here. Okay, we need to actually. We need to draw, probably need to draw a mountain next turn for this too. And for them to not draw anything this turn. That's not good. Yeah, I think in retrospect I should have just, instead of therapying, I should have just discarded a creature to get Sharpshooter and just played it. I would have been able to play it this past turn. And then I could have started using it. They drew a survival anyway, so we're basically dead here. I'm going to concede. There's no way we were getting another turn of any value. Okay, let's board some cards. Board in. I guess Duress is probably not great here. Bolt is good. Masticore. Baloth is not really what we want. Lyrist is good. Thunderscape and Thornscape both seem like they should be good here, although they are very slow. Fiend also seems kind of slow. Maybe we don't want Fiend. I guess the wall blossoms is also not all that relevant. So maybe that's better than Fiend, or Fiend's better than that. It's possible Genesis is not actually going to matter very much here. I kind of think it won't. I'll bring in this Naturalize for their survival. Can't really find room for the last Battlemage, even though they're both good, which I suppose is an indication that maybe they shouldn't be here. I'll take out Deranged Hermit and bring in both of these. Can take out a wall. Okay. We're Battlemage to the maximum here. Okay. Has potential. Doesn't have anything that strong, but at least we can play all of our cards. And we have some interaction. So the question is, do I want to kill this Druid Lyrist preemptively? Like if they're relying on Cradle or something, it could be good. I am going to get to Battlemage next turn. I guess I probably am supposed to save it. Get some more information. They were relying on Cradle. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, they do have a survival. Well, at least I know they have the Cradle now, so I can use this, and I do have the answer to survival. I think I'm going to take this opportunity and make them discard 2. Can only do one of these, unfortunately. With no mana and 2 cards missing, I think this will be decent. Since I have the second one, that's the only reason I'm doing that. If I draw land next turn, there's a chance I could do both. Extra Cradle, extra Survival. All right, so it's kind of like we killed the Survival. They have here, I don't think they have a symbiote because they probably would have played that. They might have an acolyte. They might have like a Deranged Hermit. Obviously they might have anything, but there's certain things that are probably more likely. All right, let's therapy them. I guess Deranged Hermit is the worst thing they could have. Granger, okay. I will offer the Lyrist trade. And at this point, it's probably right to just play a Elves and keep the beatdown going. I am in a therapy away. Am I sacrificing? I guess I'm sacrificing the wall. Masticore. Oh, that's really bad. That's going to clear away like our entire board somehow. I mean, they will lose their Masticore, but... Extremely punished for using our wall and for playing our Llanowar Elves. Went about as badly as it could have gone. All right, they can just pay the upkeep for a turn. Yeah, I think this is over. Lost when they roll to 5, not a good sign. We'll be back for the last round. I failed to record the sound for this last match, so this will be a silent match, and I'll pick it back up at the wrap up at the end. So we ended up going 2 and 4 with the deck. My thoughts about the battle mages. Essentially, we sort of confirmed what you probably could have suspected going in, which was just that there's a reason people don't play a lot of battle mages in pre-modern. They're not terrible, but they're just a little bit too slow, I think, for the format, and a little too low impact. In addition to being 4 mana to do anything, and the Thunderscape one being 5, there's some other problems with these cards as disenchant effects. There are certain specific artifacts and enchantments in the format where a sorcery speed disenchant effect doesn't line up super well. Parallax Tide, obviously, that's a problem for regular disenchants as well. But then also Humility, it's a problem for that to be attached to a creature. Mishra's Factory is very awkward playing these cards against Mishra's Factory because they don't actually kill it in the way that you want. Even Dreadnaught, the fact that, not even to mention, well, I will mention the fact that it's 4 mana versus 1 mana, but also the fact that half the time it's vision charmed out means that you can't effectively use a sorcery speed removal spell on it. So those are all idiosyncratic issues that made me understand why you play a bunch of naturalizes even in your creature deck, where you'd rather have creatures doing that job. In addition to that, those specific problems, there's some other deck building constraints that putting battle mages in your deck costs you. I didn't mention this at the beginning, but the fact that you can't play Recurring Nightmare, well, you can, but they're not very good with Recurring Nightmare because these are kicker effects. So if you Recurring Nightmare them back into play, all you get is a Grey Ogre, which is not very good. So Recurring Nightmare is kind of one of the big draws to go along with Survival, and if you're not playing cards that are good with it, you're really sacrificing a lot of power. And we tested it out with the max battle mages to see if that would be good enough to make up for that loss, and I can safely say now it was not. The only 2 matches we won were against Stiflenaught, and that was mostly on the back of Cabal Therapy, just taking multiple Dreadnaughts and taking multiple other cards. It felt like these battle mages could have kind of been anything there, anything else, and it probably would have been about as good. And then against another green-black kind of mid-range deck, we won, but that was, again, more on the back of Survival than anything else, and it kind of felt like these could have been anything. So John Battle Mages didn't cut the mustard, but I think it's good sometimes to try these ideas and push them to as far as they can go, to see if there is anything to it. In this case, there's not. But we tried it, and we discovered some more about the format and about these cards. So thanks for watching. I will return again with another interesting deck next time. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.